So I was perusing the internet this morning. Ended up reading something that I said, okay, we got to go talk about this. So I was reading something by someone who was saying, someone had asked a question like, I'm having extreme fatigue. I think I have thyroid problems. You know, my digestion is upset. Like, how do I begin to heal this? And an interesting thing occurred. There were a good portion of the answers that were like, I can show you how to balance your chakras, or I can balance your chakras and stabilize your energy field. And that's, I'm sure, what you need. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. I'm sure there's an energetic disruption in the matrix of the energy field of her body. I have no doubt that that's true. But isolating it to being an energetic phenomena is another one of the pitfalls happening in the world of healing right now. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I have clients who are master energy workers, like brilliant, profound, intuitive energy workers. Like they can do readings on people. And one of the reasons that they came to work with me is that they started to realize that they knew how to do that, but they weren't catering to their 3D body, their cellular structures. And this is one of the pitfalls because people tend to get attracted to one end of the spectrum in healing or another. And a lot of people start to really hone in, like if we just adjust your energy structures, you'll be fine. And although that's part of it, I just want to let you know that our 3D cellular structure, like our cells are miracles, you guys. Like if we ignore the cellular structure, we're actually vacating a portion of the nuance of our body. I mean, you live in a 3D structure. You live in a divinely made human body. And when creation said, okay, we're going to make this awesome structure, and the structure is going to have all the physical elements that make up the universe. True story. You have all the physical elements that make up the universe in you. And those elements are going to be part and parcel of cell function. Another true story. Like you can't send messages without certain elements, certain minerals, certain ions. Your physical structure can't function without them. And if we aren't catering from the cell all the way to the energetic field and back, then we're negating our 3D reality. And one of the reasons, I'll be honest, one of the reasons why people like energetic work is because it lets them vacate their body. And I've had lots of energy workers confirm this for me. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really like energy work, is because I enter the energetic field and I get to vacate my physical field. And I don't really know what to do with my physical field. So vacating it feels kind of good because I actually feel like I touch something tangible and something that feels really good. And this is a challenge because we will go to what feels the best. We are creatures of pleasure and comfort. But sometimes in healing, we actually have to wander into spaces that don't feel so good. Like sometimes in healing, we have to sit with the uncomfortable sensations in our body. Sometimes in healing, we have to cultivate a new relationship with nourishing ourselves. Sometimes in healing, we have to actually sit with our pain so that we can tell our body that we're coming home, so that our cells actually start to trust us, so that they're willing to shift their function, so that we can heal what sits at the root. And we can't do that if we're just going to focus on the energetic field or on balancing the chakras or the energy systems. And I say this from a lot of experience. I mean, I'm an acupuncturist. I know how to work with the meridians. I know how to work with the energetic flow of the meridians. But one of the brilliant aspects of Chinese medicine, I do believe, was that they never isolated the cell from the energy field. They saw them as this intertwined web, and that you couldn't ignore one for the other. You couldn't just work in one spectrum or the other. But there's been, I would say, a deviation in the alternative medicine, alternative healing spectrum, where there are a lot of people who just want to work in that realm, and that's great. That is awesome. But just know that our real intimacy and shift in our being happens when we work the terrain from cell to energy field and back. That's why I often say from cell to soul. because that's where we encompass the totality of us. And if we fail to give the cells like the restoration that they need, they're going to be the limiting factor on how big you can sustain a true energetic field strength, because your cell is the generator. Like, have you ever thought about a cell? Like, have you ever really thought about it? I mean, cells are magic. You guys are mostly empty space, first off. And they're made of these little pathways and organelles that then somehow manage to direct the entire functionality of the body. They regulate everything, hormones, glucose, they regulate emotional response. I see emotional responses that are stuck in people's bodies show up in their cell membranes when I assess them. That's because that's what the cell is. It's the microcosm of you. Your cell has all the components to make another you, which means your cell is the unit of function. That is like the magic that makes up you. So if we keep working in the field and we're like, no, I love the feeling of the field. Great, love the feeling of the field. But those cells have to be able to come along for the ride. And sometimes we work in the field and we actually create more stress at the cell because we are so focused here and not connecting here. And our body's like, this is chaotic. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to put emphasis, and I have these physical needs. And if we don't have, like, if we're not nourished, but we're trying to work just with energy, then our physical body is going to suffer. And this is something I see over and over. It's a real reality check that although I get it, because I've been in meditation states that are like, oh my God, could we go back there again? Like, could we just live there? Could we just connect to that? Like, that was freaking awesome. But the truth is like, we are a human. We're here to have this dynamic human experience, which is a 3D experience. Like, part of our magic is navigating the 3D from the fullness of this 3D experience. Like, from all the tangible experiences, from like, how big can we get our vitality? Like, how much sensation can we hold? How much emotion can we hold? How much physical nourishment can we entertain? Like, that is the wondrous experience in my book anyway. It's like, how big can I get that physical human experience? And by default, guess what? The energetic one expands dramatically. I have never met a human who had a vitality down at the cell who had a weak energetic field, ever. But I've met tons of humans who've been working on their energetic field and their physicality was just crumbling. It is the root. We honoring our physical being and the dynamic nature of cells so that we can build the energetic resilience in our field is actually how we root it. Your cell is the physical root of the energetic system that is then going to be able to expand you into bigger realms of creation. But we must work with the physical structure and all the nuances there. And the full human experience, because if we don't, we're limiting ourselves. Like, and I think maybe that's why we do it. Like, I think we actually chase energetic restoration. Like, we chase energy field work. We chase that kind of stuff because it feels like somewhere in there lies the magic, like the magic that's going to make it all right. But it's the magic that makes it all right is us coming home to our body. That's the magic that makes it all right. Because this is what you have to inhabit. You trying to restore the energetic field without creating cohesiveness here in this being is putting the cart before the horse. Like, there's no longevity there. There's nothing that it's built upon. Like, you're trying to grow a sequoia tree and you won't let it grow any roots. So just think about that as you go through your day and maybe ask yourself, like, have I been building the roots and connection with the cell and like the really inhabiting this body, or have I been trying to focus on the more ethereal because it feels more comfortable, because it feels more magical? And how's that working for me? Those are some questions to consider.